Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and I'm currently in the middle of 16 series, and one of my goals this year was to finish more series than I started. So far I've started 5 series and finished 4 series this year, so I'm not doing a good job at that goal. So we're gonna try and change that in this video. I have one very big reading plan, and then I kind of am just gonna play it by ear on what the rest of the reading plans are for this video, but the main top priority goal for this video is to get through Oathbringer. This is the second book in the Stormlight archive. It is a series that I don't even know how to explain to you what it's about. It's an epic fantasy series, really following just this whole world. As I guess the overarching plot so far is they've all been like squabbling within each other because the gods kind of disappeared, and now the gods seem to be coming back and everyone's having to deal with that. But maybe less so the gods coming back and more so the things that destroyed the gods. I'm still a little unclear on exactly what is coming back, but something along those lines is happening. I have a very love-hate relationship with this. I think it's so fascinating, but these books are humongous and they're very slow. It's maybe not my biggest cup of tea, but I am still like intrigued and I want to finish them. So I have been following my husband's reading order for this, the whole Cosmere essentially. This is my last book in the Stormlight archive before I jump into Wax and Wane, and then I'll come back to Stormlight archive. But it's been a full year since I read the last book, so it's about time I get going on this one. I'm hopeful that some of my favorite characters will play a bigger role in this book than they have in the last few, so hopefully that makes it a little bit more interesting and I can get through it a bit quicker. But yeah, this is main priority. We're gonna work on getting through this one. I would ideally like to have this done within the next week. Don't know if that's gonna happen, but we're gonna try. And then a few other ones, the ones that are on my radar that I think I'm going to include in this video. I have a couple duologies that I only have one book left. So I thought I'd pick a couple of them. I have the books on their way to me. Like I ordered them off of World of Books so I could get them secondhand. That is the One Dark Window duology. So I have Two Twisted Crowns coming. I just barely finished the first one actually in my last reading video. So if you want to check that out. And then the Hazelwood duology. I've got the second book coming in that one. The Night Country, is that what it's called? So those two are coming to me. They're supposed to be here this weekend. It's currently Monday. They're supposed to come on like Friday. I am going out of town this weekend, so we'll see. But those two are likely to happen. The other one is I have a hold that I'm waiting to come in from Libby for the next Ranger's Apprentice series. That's one that I started working on this year and I really have made very little progress. I'm on the 3rd book. It's called The Icebound Land, that I would like to finish. I also ironically wasn't going to include this in the video, but I have the last 2 hours left of the 2nd book in the Sinclair's Mystery series. I don't know if I'll include that in this video, but I guess I might as well give you thoughts because I'm probably finishing that tonight. So that's kind of my reading plans-ish. I don't know if I'll get to all of those books in this video. Again, this one's big, but I'm gonna try my best. We'll see how far I can get, and we'll try and get at least a few books into this video. If I can finish The Night Country and Two Twisted Crowns, those will finish series, so then we'll have the balance back where it needs to be. I do have one other duology, but I don't have the next book for it yet, so not finishing that one quite yet. But that's what's happening. Welcome to another reading vlog, and I will catch up with you when I have some thoughts. Quick update. I have made it to page 506. I'm nearing halfway. I think I can be past halfway by the end of today. I don't know that I'll update again. There's just not a lot to say about these books because it's the 3rd book in the series. A character that I really like has shown up. I overall am enjoying part 2 more. I feel like part 1 was a little bit of a drag. And I was talking to my husband about it and he was like, yeah, I feel like part 1 is always a setup. Like, even though we're on to book 3 of the series, we're still doing setup every part 1. So, I don't know, a little frustrating for me. I feel like by the time we get to book 3 in a series, we shouldn't have to do setup anymore. But that's just me. So part 2, going significantly better. We've gotten several point of views that I like way more than the point of views we were following in part 1. Just generally, we're doing a lot of the characters that I like more. So enjoying part 2 a lot more than I enjoyed part 1. I don't know that we feel like we're making that much progress on anything still, but I am enjoying those characters more. We finally had 2 characters in a scene together that haven't been together at all, and I've just been waiting. Like, I just knew that their dynamic was gonna be so fun together, and I did like the little teeny tidbit of a scene that we got of them just like butting heads. So I think that that's gonna be fun. Hopefully we get more scenes of them interacting, but going good, just going slow. This is taking me longer than I was hoping it would, but I'm into the flow of things now. I think it's gonna start going faster now that I'm like back into everything. I also can't remember if I talked about this yet, but I did finish my audiobook that I was listening to, The Mystery of the Jeweled Moth. Great time, love it. I also just barely today started the 3rd book in that series because I figured might as well just continue going. My Libby's got all of the audiobooks. Might as well just finish the series out while I'm in the roll of things. So we're following another mystery. I don't have a lot to say about this series. It's just like a good, solid, cozy mystery. If you want like mystery book that's not a murder mystery, these ones are good because they're all like thefts that you're following. So if you're looking for something a little more lighthearted, especially if you like want a mystery book to read with a kid and you're not sure you want to get into like a murder book, very great series so far. So that's what I'm gonna continue working on. I'm hoping to have this done in the next day or 2 so that I can start one of my other books. I did get my copies in for Two Twisted Crowns and The Night Country, or Night Country, whatever that one's called. So I would like to get through at least one of those in this video. Not sure which one, we'll see just what mood I'm in by the time I finish this book, but going well, just not as fast as I was hoping. I have finished Oathbringer. I think I'm going to end this video here. I need to get this video up and I don't have time to read another book, but to update you on my thoughts as much as I can. The last little bit of this book, it finally really picked up. Let's see, where did that part start? Really, I guess around page 1000 is where it fully like started to pick up. Yeah, there's one like big final battle that happens, and that is where it really got fast-paced and interesting for me. And it started doing a lot more jumping POVs within chapters. Like there'd be like a few paragraphs and then it'd switch and then it'd switch and then it'd switch, instead of being like, oh, we're gonna do a whole chapter or 2 and then we'll switch which character we're focusing on. So I did feel like that fixed a lot of the pacing issues for me with just having, like, we weren't having such long gaps in between the storylines with each individual character. We also got all of the characters together in one battle, which was very nice. There wasn't like, oh, we're following this storyline over here and that storyline over there, which I feel like happens the majority of this book. The characters are all very scattered, but that final battle, they all come together. You start to get POVs that like are more intertwined, and it finally got really good. So the last like 200 pages went a lot faster for me than the rest of the book. And I think that's my issue overall with Stormlight Archive, is there's just so much setup that happens before we can get to the big battle scenes and the action sequences and things like that. And I just wish we were getting more of the action, because it's really fun and you get to see a lot of like really interesting ways that they're using the magic and stuff like that, but it just takes so much to get there. And it's just for like these little things, like it's like there was so much information you needed to get this like one little scene, and I don't know. I also found this book just very frustrating from like the point that I talked to you, so like about halfway to that last couple hundred pages was so frustrating to me. It felt like everything just kept going wrong so extremely that it was just like, why are we spending so much time on this if nothing is going to work out? But we did finally make some progress-ish at the end of the book. There's still a lot of like, you know who traitors are and who's not actually on their side, but they don't. This book also sets up a very interesting dynamic, and I'm trying to decide how to talk about it without spoiling things, where you're not entirely sure, like, you know who you're supposed to be rooting for, but they're very, very flawed. And you're not entirely sure if that really is the right side. Like, you're not sure if they're the good guys or not, but like, you are in their point of view, so obviously you're supposed to be rooting for them. I don't know, it's a very interesting way where you're like, I'm not sure if I can back the main characters in this book. There also was a little bit of like a love triangle-y thing that got set up in this book. Thankfully, it got resolved by the end of the book. So if you're like in the middle of this book and you're also getting really annoyed with the love triangle situation, don't worry. It only lasts another few hundred pages and then it's done. So I'm very glad that that is settled. One of the characters that I was really missing in the last book did play a bigger part, and I was very happy about that character. The other one, I feel like still is just not so involved, and I'm just waiting for that character to be more of a thing. And I just don't know if we're ever gonna get that. But I am kind of going to put pause a little bit on the Stormlight archive for right now, because my husband has told me to go read some of the Wax and Wayne books first. So I'm gonna jump to that series and then I'll come back. There's just so much to read when you're trying to consume the Cosmere. There's also another novella, but I'm not sure if it goes after this one or after the next book. I'll figure that out, but I am gonna put these books down for just a little bit, go do some other Cosmere stuff, and then I'll come back to these. But really, that's kind of the only book that I read. I did start the audiobook for the third book in the Sinclair Mysteries book series, The Painted Dragon. I'm 23% of the way through the audiobook. They're just like very calm. I don't really know that I have different thoughts from book to book. They're like, if you're looking for just a really chill mystery book, this is just a great series. Obviously they're kids books, so like nothing so intense is happening, but, and you know it's gonna work out. You know they're gonna solve the mystery at the end. So I'm waiting to see. I'm like 23% into this and we still have not had the actual like crime happen yet. So I do feel like that is one interesting thing about these books, is sometimes it takes a long time to actually get to the crime, and then things really pick up from there. So I'm assuming we've been introduced to a painting that is like a dragon painting, and it's called The Painted Dragon. So I'm assuming that painting gets stolen at some point, and we've got to be getting close to that. But it is kind of like the quarter of the way through the book point. Luckily they're short enough that that's not like so much reading before you get to the point, but yeah, I'm having a good time with those. I do have the book out for the next Ranger's Apprentice book, but I need to get back on top of videos, so I think I'm just gonna read that one on my own time, and it will be in a monthly wrap up. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Bye.